Hello and welcome to episode 192 of the 77 Club. Harry, start with the socials.
The Wall 77 Club on Facebook and Instagram, at 77 Club Podcast on Twitter, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube. Please rate and tell a friend.
Jack Williams is here.
Hi, guys.
And Dan Bayliss.
Hello, everyone.
Well, Harry, we thought probably not going to get anything from Stamford Bridge. And on about, I don't know, what was it, 80-something minutes, that probably looked like the case. But just thoughts on the team selection to begin with, because a couple of eyebrows are raised.
Yeah, I think it was as expected, free midfield again, because it was away at Chelsea. But the only surprise I can think of is Neto starting. I didn't know if he'd be fit enough, and he wasn't. To be honest, in hindsight, he did really well too. So starting lineup, very happy. And I know we're going to get into it a bit more detail, but overall, I was very happy with the performance, to be honest, especially after Brighton.
Jack, you were there. What was it like inside the ground?
It was, I think, mixed, to be honest. I agree. I think the performance was much improved. I think all we wanted particularly after that Brighton game, and I know the results have been poor lately, so we just wanted to see a bit of character, see a bit of fight, see that they actually cared. And sort of going in at half time, I was like quite pleased, really. I thought the first half performance was pretty good. Obviously, they had the chances. They had that one that was given as a foul where they scored, but we had our chances too. That Dendoncker one lives in the memory because it was from where we were sat on the completely opposite side, and he's a bit further out than he looks watching it back. But it was a head in hands moment. We were thinking, just keep it down, man, and we've got the goal there. So then I go for a beer at half time like I normally do, come back up about 10 minutes later just to see Lukaku smack the second goal in. So I'm thinking, what's happened here in this 10 minutes that we've been away, really? Because I missed the penalty completely. I watched it back and, it's a bit of one of them in it, but it's probably going to get given against us when we were at Chelsea. Good strike from them for the second one. And then it just changed in the crowd, really. Like from where I was sat, which was quite near to in the to the away fans in the lower shed, I think it is, sort of behind the goal. We were fighting amongst ourselves. There were people rowing behind us. There was people fighting in front of us. There was like 3 separate occasions I saw in the second half of Wolves fans fighting amongst ourselves. So it went to sort of a weird atmosphere then. But then obviously the last few minutes, it sort of just kicked off and everyone was friends again towards the end because it was that jubilation, really. And we just showed that bit of fight, really. That lad Chiquinho, to be fair, all 3 of the players that came on, Trincao, Hwang, Chiquinho, changed the game in my book. They all came on and did well. Even like Hwang, who's had quite a bit of stick lately. But it was just a great moment, especially when you get a 94th minute winner away at a top 6 club because they got
equaliser. It felt like a winner.
It did feel like a winner.
It did feel like
97 minutes.
Yeah.
And Bruno Lage obviously not in the stadium either, but you mentioned him there, Chiquinho, 20 minutes, 100% take on success, 5 duels won, 2 assists. Bayliss, I think we said last week that we wanted to see some kids play, bringing through the youth. What have we got to lose? And he looks like a player, doesn't he?
Looks like he knows what he's doing. It's a positive to take. So I thought we actually didn't play too badly, did we? On the whole,
no, I don't think so.
I don't think we have the past week, even though we got hammered. But yeah, it'd be nice to see a bit of experience in with the players like Chiquinho, give them something to balance the team up a little bit. But yeah, any young lad that's coming in and doing that, if they can start doing it consistently, great. I think that's been our problem, is the young lads have one good game and then a couple of bad ones and just need to level it out a little bit.
I mean, Harry, it does seem that we maybe got away with it a little bit, though. I mean, VAR came to the rescue, and that first one for the disallowed goal from Werner seemed to take an age. And I think you just know, don't you, sometimes that the longer it takes, it's probably not going to be given. So that there were a couple of times. But what's Sace doing for the penalty?
Yeah, so the Werner one was quite quick when he pushed Sace over. But even that was a bit like, we got away one there. But yeah, the penalty, it was one of them where in live, like when it actually happened, because obviously I was watching it on a legal stream, I winced. I was like, why has he done that? And then I thought, the refs like carrying on. But then once they start checking it and it takes forever, it's coming. But what I'm going to say is very clumsy again from Sace. He did the handball against Brighton the week before, and then there's no need for him to do that. He's been our weak link now, and I'm glad, obviously, we're going to go on to City. I'm kind of glad he weren't around for that, and it looks like he's leaving. But at the back, although I thought we defended quite well, they did have the ball in the net twice in the first half. But I was most impressed with our counter-attacking stuff because we we put up the fight, which is what we wanted, and I'm glad we looked a bit more organised than we did against Brighton. And obviously, eventually, we did go and get the equaliser, as Jack mentioned. But it was just about the performance of me. Even if we wouldn't have got that equaliser last minute, I would have still been very happy with the performance. Although it was our own fault for the goals, both mistakes from our own players. Like Cody was at fault for the second with a poor pass, but the performance overall was much, much better. And I'm glad that happened that game, because if that would have been another stinker, it'd have been so depressing. I know last night we're going to get onto, but it'd have been so depressing if we didn't put in a bit of fight at Stamford Bridge. I think that might have saved Bruno his job in a way, because people keep going on about it, don't they? Saying if we'd have lost all the games. So I'm happy we got that result, to be honest.
Jack, I just want to go back to the atmosphere in the ground, and aside from the Wolves fans fighting for some reason that we don't really know why that's the case, what was it like for the rest of the ground? Because obviously Chelsea owners under sanctions, the prospective new owner in the stands watching on, welcome to the Premier League.
There were noticeable gaps, but I know the fact they've let season ticket holders in, it's still quite a decent amount of people there, really. It's only really, say, like, if you're looking up at the stand, the top wings that are empty and some of the bottom bits in the corner. So there's obviously quite a lot of, is it just season ticket holders they're letting in, or is it members as well? I'm not quite sure. Just season ticket holders.
Just season tickets, I think.
So it shows that there's, probably it's looked about 80% of the ground was probably full, really. So it wasn't particularly a weird atmosphere. I mean, it wasn't the best from either set of fans, I don't think, in terms of everything. But it's just funny, really, isn't it? Because they obviously going thinking they've won and giving it the big one. They're all standing on chairs, jaunting the Wolves fans, and we go back and do that, and then as soon as you go outside the ground, then they just can't take it, can they?
Really,
it's fans. Yeah, there were just so many comments of like, "Oh, you've drawn your cup final, well done." "Oh, we're champions of Europe," blah blah blah.
To be fair, just on the atmosphere, just from watching it on the stream, the Wolves fans were really loud. I thought
they were loud.
My point of view, I don't know. Obviously, Jack was in there, but throughout the game, all you could hear was the Wolves fans, really, even when we were 2-0 down, which I thought was quite encouraging. So I think it's because of the way we played, to be honest. Just give them sort of cheer about, wasn't it?
And Dan, it was good to see that improved performance. I know you mentioned it before, but sometimes you just have to go and grind out a result. And I mean, on another day, it probably wouldn't have gone that way, but it shows that the fight and the spirit among the squad, and obviously coming from the captain, is still there.
I don't think it was just the result. It's more to do with the way that we fought and actually wanted to get something from the game. We didn't roll over. We kept going, and that's what you want to see, isn't it? We had some real bad performances where, Bruyne were just woeful, and we've had a few through the season where Wolves haven't turned up, and then to go to somewhere like Chelsea and actually deliver and perform, and not perform brilliantly well and go and win a game. It's more about performing to how your fans want you to and actually trying. That's the positive, isn't it? It is a positive result because Wolves turned up and Wolves played good football and got stuck in and tried to get something from the game. So happy with that.
And also, it was the substitutions. Like, how many times have we brought him on and they've done nothing? Like Trincao took his goal really well, didn't he?
I was just about to say,
yeah. I know he did well to go and he come on against Leeds in that game, but it's very rare he does that, isn't it? And I know I've already mentioned Chiquinho, but his crossing. I mean, he got 2 assists on the day, didn't he? Because he passed it to Trincao for his. So that was good. So, and it was good as well. I know we had to because we were 2-1 down with like 10 minutes to go, whatever it was. But the attacking intent, like that last 10 minutes was amazing. And Chiquinho was meant to be right wing back, but basically he wasn't, was he? He was right up there that last 10 minutes. So we were a bit vulnerable at the back because we basically were playing 4 at the back, which we'd expect. But just very impressed with the last 10 minutes, definitely.
One swallow doesn't make a summer, Jack. It's a good start. And I suppose his goal probably comes too late. His contributions to the side, it won't be enough to seal a deal from Barcelona. I don't think either party is particularly interested in it. But, he's obviously contributed to adding a point to the tally.
Yeah, I think it was Matt Cooper actually said on Twitter that he changed his mind about whether he wants to keep Trincao on an hourly basis, and it is one of them, isn't it? Really, I mean, lately overall, if you take probably the games that we've been pretty bad in, he's actually probably been one of our best players. I think lately, the first half of the season or first 3 quarters of the season, not so much really, and I just don't know, really. I kind of think he doesn't really want to be here. That's the impression I'm sort of getting. But he's also got a point to prove. And I think in the last few games, he has proved a point, really. I think he's done all right. And obviously, good goal. There's definitely a player in there. Whether it's a player who can play in the Premier League, because we've said it before, haven't we? Like, if you mark him, he's out the game. If you give him a bit of time, you give him a bit of space, then then I think he's going to be a player. But that's the sort of luxury you probably get more in Spain than you do playing in the Premier League.
He
So
could have
I
had
think
2, couldn't he? Remember his other
Yeah.
chance when he put it just wide.
Yeah.
God, I
Yeah.
forgot. That's just come back to me. But I'll tell you who else who was good on the day. Sarr again. He pulled off a lot of saves, didn't he?
Yeah.
I thought he was probably our man of the match, to be honest.
Yeah, I played player of the season for me, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Not many people could argue with that. It
Or
won't be
Neves.
anyone that scored many goals. So was there a man of the match in there? Bayliss?
Got to give it Chiquinho for what he did.
Fair. Harry?
I'll stick with Sarr, but I couldn't argue with Chiquinho because he literally changed it completely when he came on. So, but I'll stick with Sarr.
Jack deciding vote?
Chiquinho,
for someone
he did change the game, didn't he? He's got that little thing about him, hasn't he? And we'll talk about the game last night as well now, but where he's a bit raw, but it kind of helps because I think he's like he does things that people aren't quite expecting,
Fearless.
which probably shouldn't do.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like playing to our advantage at the moment. But yeah,
I see a little bit of fight though, isn't it? Like a
Yeah.
bit tenacious, a bit like a
Did,
Jack Russell.
Let's just come back to me. Did everyone see our mate Finners in the celebrations? He was everywhere.
I was going to mention that, like, because
he's so tall.
The one thing that made me laugh, obviously they're all going mental down the front, and the one thing that made me laugh is when Wolves released the official photo. Everyone is hooking the players, but Finn's clocked it already, and Finn's posing for the camera.
Knows, mate.
He's looking. They're taking photos, and Finn's just looking there with his model face on. Everyone else is going mental, and so that's made me smile that day because he's looking straight down the camera lens. He's not stupid. He
knows how that camera
he
is.
knows what's going on.
He's not his first rodeo.
I actually jumped on a bloke behind me and got told off when we equalised. So if he's listening, sorry.
You got told off by the bloke.
Yeah, I think he had a bad leg, and I didn't think I made it any better. So,
what does he expect? Limbs in the way end. Okay, well, so from a point at Stamford Bridge, Harry, to a complete battering from, a Kevin De Bruyne inspired Manchester City at Molineux.
Yeah, well, this one was, to be honest, it could always have happened, couldn't it? We could have always got dicked by 5. They just beat Newcastle by 5.
Yeah,
I don't know why I went into it with a kind of a good feeling. I was happy with the team again. It was kind of a similar setup to what the last 15 minutes was at Chelsea, wasn't it? Chiquinho was meant to be right wing back, but when we were attacking, he was flying up there, wasn't he? We were basically having 4 at the back, and then he'd try and tuck in. But it was complete domination all game, and we did try. We tried to hit him on the counter attack, and our goal was a great counter attack. It felt like the Wolves of old, that goal from like the first few seasons in the Prem, and great finish from Dendoncker, made up for his miss away at Chelsea. But as soon as they turned it on City, we helped them a bit on a few of the goals, giving them a bit too much space. But Jesus Christ, they're good, aren't they? And Kevin De Bruyne, man, he's just a freak of nature, and the way he strikes the ball, the way he fuds it in, it's just immaculate the way he strikes a ball, and sometimes you just got to applaud the opposition, haven't you?
I'm sure he'll appreciate you saying that he fuds the ball.
Fud. What a word.
Absolute fud. Bayliss, I want to bring you in there. You sort of frowning a little bit, shaking your head. I'm not sure what to make of it, whether you agree or disagree.
I'm not sure what to make with it in general. I mean, it's proper Mike Bassett, 3 cheers for Ramirez.
It is, isn't it? I said that earlier, yeah.
But you know what? We did give them a bit too much space and a few silly mistakes, but fucking hell, they're good.
Yeah.
That's it at the end of the day. They are serious class. And you've got to acknowledge that sometimes. They are better than us. We could have probably defended a bit tighter and got our passing a bit better. I don't actually think we played that badly. Just a very good team came and took us apart. Yeah. So
Jack, I suppose it just shows, that if you've got a good manager and the players are together and you can spend £1 million, is that
not the manager.
You could find yourself. No, I know, that's what I mean. If you spend £1 billion, you could find yourself top of the Premier League with a couple of games to go.
That's the thing, isn't it? And it's got to give you a bit of context, really, in the fact that how much they pay players. I mean, they're bringing, and they're not stopping. They're bringing in bloody Haaland and paying him 350 grand a week or something ridiculous. So it is. They are a next level. They are a joy to watch. Obviously, not so much when it's happening to you. And they are the best team in the world, aren't they? Let's be honest. You can. I know they basically ballsed up the semi-final of the Champions League, but they were anyone who watched those 2 legs, they were by far the better team. Last time they played Liverpool and it was 2-2, they were by far the better team. So there's probably, that's the only sort of blot on their copybook, really, is that sometimes they are not winning games that they they probably should. But they'll win the Premier League now. They're not scared of the pressure, you can probably tell. But I actually thought we did all right, really, and it was nice to see a counter-attacking goal of old, like we used to score. If you go back, probably about 2 seasons, and we gave it a go. The setup was weird. Let's be honest. I think the setup was weird in the fact it looked like we were playing 4 at the back because God knows where Chiquinho was playing.
I don't think he knew, did he?
And because of that back 4 was just kind of just to the left a little bit of where it should be. There was just so much space there, and we got overrun in midfield. Really, there was no pace in midfield. There wasn't, and they just outclassed us, really. But we always say, at least we have a go. No one really minds if at least we turn up and at least have a go. And I think we definitely did. But the only worrying thing is, like, nobody puts 5 past us. Since we come up, no one's put 5 past us, have they?
8 goals in 2 games at home conceded. It's a bit worrying, isn't it? I know Man City is one of them.
But the defence was all over the place. And like we with the players that are playing, really. I mean, Willy Bolly's not been great lately. I think... The defence needs an overhaul, I think, particularly at centre-back in this close season. And it just looked a bit lopsided with the fact that you're probably asking Johnny to play like right centre-back, but in reality, he had to play right back because Gina wasn't there. So there's a few questions about the way we set up, but, at least we tried and we weren't expecting to win. It was nice to score, to be honest.
I suppose, like you said, when you're playing against one of the best, if not the best team in the world, then that is likely to happen. But
Sam,
Bayliss, the performances, it wasn't bad. It wasn't,
it wasn't
Brentford
disastrous
at home. It wasn't Brighton at home.
I genuinely think Matt Cooper could manage Man City to winning the title. Well, you don't need a fantastic manager. You don't need anything. If you've got billions, you just get the best players and stick them together and say,
I don't know, Bayliss. That's harsh because look at the way he gets them battling. They were like 4-1 up and they were still fighting for every ball, like charging us down. Like, that's like some good management, isn't it?
Just,
like,
you got to motivate.
Matt Cooper won't get him running around.
Stand in the corner. Just stand in the corner of the dressing room and go, if you don't perform today and run about, there's 3 others I can go and buy that'll do it for me.
I think that's a bit harsh. Like, Pep is a great manager and he sets up his teams amazingly, and the way he has them 1-touch football or 2-touch football, then the pressing they do is ridiculous. We couldn't cope with it at all.
Bold Matt Cooper.
But what I will say
sorry, just on the point of Pep is that he's never been at managed a side that has been the weakest in the league. Is probably the point.
Because he's the best manager in the world, and he don't need to. He gets appointed by the best teams because he's the best manager.
No, but is that because he's only managed the best team
with a great side?
Look at the way he got Barcelona playing as well. I know he had all the great players. Look at the style.
Not Barcelona. God. Fuck, you said that like it was Dagenham and Redbridge.
Yeah, but look at the way he got him playing. He's the best football I've ever seen a football team play in that era. Like they never lost the ball, never. A bit like City last night. So you can't just say, "Oh, he's got all the money, he's got all the players," so that makes it easy for him. Yeah, if you put Sean Dyche in charge of Man City, I bet they'd probably come third or something.
They'd win the league.
He'd put Kevin De Bruyne up front and just get Fernandinho to whack it up.
I'll tell you what, if they'd had Sean Dyche, they'd have got to the final of the Champions League as well, because he'd have got someone to kick the shit out of Benzema.
There was a breakdown, wasn't there, of his last or all of his Champions League exits over the last 10 years, and the amount of times they've thrown away like 2 and 3 goal deficits within less than 10 minutes is. It's actually like a pattern of you go, oh, actually, these sides do seem to just collapse for some reason. Don't know what it is. I think it's probably a mental thing.
Just got to say,
City, it definitely is.
Comment here from Neil. Forgot to bring this up. We arguably could have had 2 penalties in the game. It wouldn't have made a difference, but that one on Chiquinho from Zinchenko, he definitely made contact, then like flicked the ball out after. But for me, I thought that was a penalty. And then the handball, which I kind of didn't think was, but when the Matinho one's been given at Man City, you kind of think, well, one rule for one rule for another, but wouldn't have made any difference in the game, but could have been at least 1 penalty for me on the day.
I think the argument is on both occasions with Fernandinho and Zinchenko is they both touched the ball, granted, but after committing the foul. It was kind of with the second phase. And I don't think the Zinchenko one necessarily was. I was more annoyed that Zinchenko, as I was saying, the WhatsApp group didn't get booked earlier because he should have had a yellow card. He tried to pull someone back and they just waved it on because he missed it. I didn't pull it back and book him. That wound me up. And I think the Fernandinho one, he's very lucky that when Neto pulls the ball back, he doesn't try and tackle him. He just hits him. It hits him. If he didn't hit him, then
he did get the ball, didn't he? So that one I wouldn't say is.
But I think he got the ball out of more luck than actually trying to play the ball. And it's one of them that I think it was the other way around, and it was 1-1 in the 93rd minute, and Man City needed to win. They'd bloody start looking at it a bit more. But I wasn't particularly too upset about not getting either penalty, to be honest. I think they none of them was stonewall.
What did you think of the overall officiating, Bayliss? Because I don't know if you watched the Villa-Liverpool game the night before and John Moss's performance. It was absolutely awful. Even Liverpool fans are sort of saying that was, I would be fuming if it was the other way around. Do you think it seems to be a bias that stretches across the entire pitch rather than big decisions in the box where we're seeing these niggling fouls maybe not going one way or the other? So, people maybe don't talk about it as much.
Yeah, they just get the decisions, don't they? I think you are playing against 11 and a half, if not 12. You can't do anything about that. Like, if it's a half foul, they'll get the decision. If it's a crap tackle in the box, they'll get the decision. So,
I love Gerard's comments. You see it?
Yeah.
He said that they said to him, John Moss is retiring. He's like, when he good. Something like that.
Did he?
But it's funny, isn't it? John Moss was retiring, and who was ours last night? He's
Mike
retiring
Dean,
as well.
No,
not last night. It was what's his? One of you must know who it was. Someone in the comments will know. Is it Atkinson?
Oh, I don't know. Ref.
Whoever ref last night, he's retiring as well. So you got John Moss who had a shocker the other night, and the referee from our game. They're both retiring. So
the other thing I would say is
Martin Atkinson. Yeah,
Martin Atkinson. Yeah. So
the better teams do get fouled more by the lesser teams, so then they end up getting the decisions.
Yeah, I think that's a good point.
Just on Chiquinho, I mean, we haven't mentioned him much, but out of all the positives on the night, surely he's a standout positive. We said a minute ago, his fearless attitude is something we miss as a team overall, really. The fact he just gets the ball and thinks, sod it. He don't care if he's playing Man City or bloody
Chelsea.
Or Chelsea. But you know what I mean? He just goes for it. He was giving Zinchenko the runaround all night. Like you said, he probably should have been, I think he got booked in the end, didn't he? But he should have been booked earlier.
I think he's been a real positive. He's been one of those players that's actually come and stood up and wanted to play for the team. So great. Get him in.
Well, yeah, because Bruno Lage a few weeks ago, didn't he? Used him as an example and said he only comes on for 10 minutes, but his attitude in training, he gives everything when he comes on, even if it's 5 minutes. And fair play to the lad, because he's earned his chance.
Can't wait till he goes on loan to bloody Wickham next season. Yeah, when Grasshoppers, and Huang starts the first game next season. Yeah. But one thing I would like to see about Chiquinho is he's had to wait for his chance patiently, and he's had a bit of a shit draw really because he's had to come on against Chelsea. His first start was against Man City. I want to see him against Norwich. I want to see him against a team that's not really good or not just for 10 minutes at the end. So that's going to be the real test because those are the teams that we win points against. And arguably, we struggle to break down quite a lot, particularly teams towards the bottom, don't we? So if he doesn't start on Saturday, I'll be shocked. There's nothing to play for. It's the ideal game. Sunday, sorry.
Let's have a look at Norwich at home because I sort of said last week, Jack, a little bit tongue in cheek, that Brighton could catch Wolves and we could potentially finish 9th, and they are 3 points behind us.
I think if we win on Sunday, then we'll get 8th. That's what we're playing for now. We just want to cement 8th, and if we beat Norwich, we'll get it. So that's it, really. I think, and then hopefully have a good performance against Norwich. But I know they keep getting battered, Norwich, and they're down, but it's what's going to happen, don't you?
Yeah, of course.
That's the plan, really.
56 goal difference, Norwich.
Go and hopefully beat Norwich, then just watch the Scousers cry on the last day of the season. Everyone's happy.
Bayliss, what sort of team do you want to see? I'm sure you want to echo the thoughts of Jack there with Chiquinho. Is there anyone else you want to see sort of given a go?
Trincao, Neto, don't play Raul. I don't know.
Could it be Raul's last? Could it be Raul's? Could it be Raul and Neves' last game at Molineux?
I
don't say that.
It's going to be a few players last game.
We haven't got a team then, have we? We haven't got a team. I mean, Sace's last game, yeah, fair enough. But
if he even plays,
I mean, I don't think he will now. I think obviously he's had a bit of stick late. He's not done very well, and then the interview in the week that he gave was quite interesting, wasn't it? So I think it's actually quite. I think I said this to you guys as well. It seems his form has dipped. Do you think that his form dipped not because of the AFCON, but because he knew that he wasn't going to get a contract extension?
Possibly. Maybe. He was so good before he went to AFCON.
He was doing really well, yeah. But the whole defence was. But
just on the team selection for Norwich, I think now it's time to try a back four, because even though we've been playing back fives, our defensive record's dipping very fast. So we may as well just go to a four because we can't defend. So
you
let's
have got to
just attack
say
more.
that nothing worse for Bruno than messing around with the system and the players and losing to Norwich, because that will set the fans off.
I suppose it will, but do you really want to see us play a bloody 5-3-2 and just be a bit boring for 45 minutes?
Let's score some goals. I'd love to.
Well, exactly.
Some
Four
goals.
At the back,
What
get
are they?
Chiquinho up there. I wouldn't start Trincao because he's not going to be here next season. I'd start Fabio. I'd start Chiquinho. I'd start Neto because I know we're going to be here next year. Midfield it'd probably be Neves and Matinho, even though we're not sure about them. At the back, I'd start Totti. I'd get him in there. I'd put good question. I'll play 4 at the back, I would, but he won't do that, would he? He'll probably go 5 at the back. It'd be 8 Nori right wing back. I'll put Johnny back to sorry, you know what I mean. Johnny right wing back, 8 Nori left wing back. Totti left centre back. Cody. Probably Bolly, although Bolly's had a bit of a shocker, hasn't he?
It's been all over the place, I think.
Yeah,
fairly.
so but yeah, make changes. Don't play players that are not going to be here next season. And for me, go to a 4 and play a 4-3-3 and just have a go at it. We're playing
just score bloody goals. Try and get the average cost per goal below 30 quid.
Oh, that'd be nice.
At least, yeah. I don't think we'll go to a back 4 because I mean at times we were playing the back 4 last night and it just looked all over the place. So I think
we weren't meant to be, but it looked like we were set up meant to have a 5, but Chiquinho was just like you say, just flying forward. So I
would like to see us play the 3 centre backs. So yeah, give Totti Gomez a chance. Why not? If he's going to stay here rather than go back somewhere to Grasshoppers or wherever at the close season. But yeah, I agree. But if we do
Johnny
play
right centre back either, Johnny right centre back don't work for me.
He's too small.
Enough,
He's too small. Yeah.
But I think Dan said it before in the past that playing 5 at the back can be incredibly attacking if your wing backs go forward. It really can. So it's not just that, but we just want a good send off, don't we? Really, if we finish 8th, it's been a great season. Let's be honest. If you just
it has overall, yeah.
I know the last 10 games or so have been a bit of a tough one, and let's be honest, we should really be in 7th now because we've just blown chances against teams that we should be picking up points against. But
with a small squad and injuries and bad form,
without any financial backing, really. Let's be honest for Bruno. So.
Right, score predictions for Norwich, 1-0 Norwich.
We'll do a score prediction. Baelish, you're going 1-0 Norwich?
No, 2-0.
Norwich.
Wolves.
Wolves.
Harry, 4-1's on.
It's happening. This is the game. The goals are flowing in at Molineux. Like we said, we've conceded 8. So it's about time we turned it on its head. We're going to put 4 past them. They're going to go 1-0 after 2.
You're going to have a bet, Harry?
We're going to go down the back, have a beer, and then we'll score 4 second half. Yeah, definitely have a bet. Yeah, it'll only be about 20-1 though, because obviously we're odds on.
Jack,
it can't be any worse than Brighton, can it? Whatever happens. So I think 2-0 Wolves. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I'm going to go 2-1 Wolves. Obviously. Let's have a look at those bets. Harry reckoned 20-1 for 4-1 Bayless. But what have you? What have you got?
And
tell us what's in your bag, you bastard.
This hasn't been rehearsed, readers. 2-0 Wolves. Fabio Silva to score first, 20-1.
No. So 4-1 won't be 20-1.
3-1 Wolves. Neto to score first, 80-1.
Wow, that's a big one.
That's
right. They're good. They're good.
That's a bit of value.
Neves score first. 4-1 Wolves is 95-1.
Wow,
that's the one.
It's not that big for 4-1. But the one I actually did, and I know this is bad, but the one I really like the look of, and it's not bad value. Pookie to score the only goal of the game. 1-0 Norwich. It's 70-1. And if anyone is going to shit house us 1-0, it's going to be Norwich.
Oh dear. Right. Okay. Well, let's hope some of those longer ones come in. Jack has technically some ticket news.
Technically, ticket news, yeah, different, obviously, because there's very few games left. I'm assuming the Liverpool away game's sold out. I haven't checked, but I'm pretty sure it will be. But the big news that dropped, was it 2 days ago? Was it? That it's a weird one, actually, because I think it was dropped originally by the Express and Star. I don't think it actually came from the club, but season ticket prices.
Ticket
prices.
Hold on, sorry. We were all getting emails, that's why, and they just seen people on Twitter going, I've had an email saying my season ticket's been updated. And I did tell you, if we got a good result with Chelsea, that's when they drop it.
Yeah. And they were making lots of different announcements, weren't they, last week? So you thought, yeah.
So yeah, we've got season ticket prices, and they've gone up. Everyone was expecting them to go up, but I think the sort of general mood is that they've gone up, but not quite as much as everyone thought. So everyone's kind of happy, I think. I think ours in the behind the goals have gone up to £590 for the season. The people who got the worst increases are the ones in the sort of upper Billy Wright central location. So, you know, the best seats in the house sort of thing. But overall, I think people were saying not too bad. Other people were saying, you know, it's another increase. It keeps going up and up and up at a time where there is a cost of living crisis imminent if it's not already here. So the amount of money this will actually bring in for the club in additional revenue is only about £1 million, but for the average supporter, it is quite a lot. So there's a few arguments there, really. What do you guys think?
Harry, you put out a poll, I think, didn't you, on Twitter? And I took a screenshot of it, but I think it finished, but I don't think it finished that differently to what the screenshot was. And it was, do you think the new season ticket prices are very good, fair, not good, or a disgrace? And 65% said fair, 11% said very good, 70% not good, and 7% disgrace. So, I mean, you know, I think everybody should be happy with that. That would be my view. What's yours?
Yeah, I agree. And it's just little things like making the direct debit, not more, like doing the direct debit scheme and things like that. So I'm happy. Really, I thought it might go up a bit more. I've been happy the last few years. You got to expect it to go up. And I know people are saying, you know, working class area. It's the same arguments every year. I feel sorry. I feel annoyed if I sat in the Billy Wright in the middle, but I never would sit there. So yeah, very, very satisfied.
Bayliss, you pissed £590, so I imagine it's just a piss.
I think I actually spend more money on the train going to and from the games than the season ticket.
That's probably not far off.
That's
Humble brag.
true. Yeah,
It's definitely true. It seems about right. What is it? £30 a game? £31 a game?
41, is
a
it?
bit more than that.
Yeah.
Who's good at maths then? 19 divided by 590. Is that how you do it?
So I do quick maths.
It's £31 and 5 pence.
There we go.
There you go. That's not too bad, is it? I mean,
it's not bad at all, is it?
I think that's sort of fair enough. I mean, what was I looking at the other day? There's a conference team around where I live that are charging £20 on the gate to get in. And that's crap. So,
although it might see some goals. So
that's true.
I do think they've thought about it in the fact, like Harry said, they put the prices up. They knew they were going to put the prices up again. We've got a big waiting list for season tickets. It's kind of hard for the club not to because they know they're going to sell them. That's the thing. So, but what they've done is they've taken away the admin charges. So, like the print at home charges, the £6 season ticket just charge for them giving you a season ticket, which is always a weird one. And the direct debit thing is really good because it's kind of saying, okay, we're putting the prices up, but we're giving you more months to pay for it, and we're not charging you for the privilege of doing it. So I think there'll be a high take up on that, to be honest with you. I might pay by direct debit this year, to be honest, because you just might as well, really. There's nothing, it doesn't cost you any more money to do it. So they have thought it through. I think the telling season will be when they do this next year, because the way things are going with energy prices, food prices, if there's going to be a season that they're going to have to freeze season tickets, I think it'll be this time next year, because people will be feeling the brunt of these price increases just after the winter's sort of over and these sorts of things. So it'd be interesting to see what happens next year. But I think we're all going to renew, aren't we? I saw a few on Twitter saying that was too much. They didn't want to because it's gone up and up and up, which, you know, is fair enough. But I think we're all going to renew, aren't we?
Yeah. Just over £100 in 4 years or 5 years?
I can't remember. Yeah, probably about that. Yeah, it's about £500 on it.
You get your Olympiacos money back as well, don't you, from that game?
I already had mine.
Oh, did you? For people who haven't, get it back.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I know. I mean, we've got to mention it. The ballot thing, Jack, the 5% away ballot.
Of course, yeah. I
thought that was great. I love that.
Yeah, very good. Yeah,
that is a
chuck
thing.
A grenade into Twitter in with the cost.
You know what? it didn't kick off as much as I thought it would, and I think because the reason it hadn't is because it's such a low percentage. If they said 20%, it would be like, whoa, hang on, that's too much. But I think even the most hardcore away fan can't begrudge having like 150 people, because that's 5% of 3,000, isn't it? Different people there each time. And as long as it works in a way that I think it should be, once you've been successful in a ballot, you can't enter in the next so many ballots. So it's not just the same people winning the ballots every time. So you don't want to have like the same people who've been to 5 games and then these people have gone in the ballot every time and haven't been to any. As long as it's shared evenly between that sort of group of Wolves fans or season ticket holders who aren't in the block that always get them, I think it's not a bad thing. I think if they sort of started putting it up to 10% or 20%, then people would moan a lot more. But the overall feeling I've got, even from like the away season ticket holders and the people who go every week, I suppose I'm kind of in that bracket on the points wise, has been, fair enough, because it'd be good to actually get the chance to go just 1 or 2 games a season, for everybody. So
as long as it's fair. And I don't see a tweet on August the 20th from Dave Azzopardi saying, I've been successful in the ballot.
Priority 4 for Man United game.
Sorry, Dave, that isn't a dig. It's just that you did.
Where it's going to fall apart is that when these people who've been moaning the most, they get a you've been successful in the ballot for Newcastle away on a Friday. Oh, don't want that, mate. No,
I don't want that one. I want Man United on a Saturday 8.
But that's the thing.
Shop.
The few away games I've been to the last few years, I've got tickets off other people. I know the club probably don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. That's what everyone does. They can't go because it's a tough nut to crack, innit? I can't look. The loyalty system's brilliant. Like, it's correct. The people who go deserve to go, but there are a lot of people who get gold and away season tickets or have loads of points who never go and just keep selling it on just to make sure if they do want to go to like a mad one, then they can. So that they had to do something for me. They had to, and I'm really happy with this.
I think it's a great one, and like I've mentioned it before, similar to what Liverpool do, where you can opt out of, you have to opt into to all the cup games, and then you have to buy all the cup game tickets through that season. I mean, it's not a lot probably when you're a Wolves fan because we're not in the cup competitions for very long. But obviously, if you're a Liverpool fan, it's a lot of games that you have to obviously buy tickets for. But that's a good way of getting people there that want to go there. But it goes back to Jack's point before, is that people don't want to go and watch it against bloody Forest in the cup, do they? They want the big Category A games.
We went to that.
I did my ticket, and there was something like that, Sam. You could opt in to automatically have your cup ticket.
Automatically buy it, yeah.
That's been around for years. That has just people don't really do it. Yeah. So you can basically, I think just the home tickets. So basically, rather than they'll just automatically charge you as soon as we get drawn at home to Morecambe in the League Cup. So nobody really does it. I didn't think the take was very good.
And it's pointless anyway because you've still got the option to buy your seat. You don't lose your seat
immediately. Yeah, you've got
immediately.
The chance to buy
you have the chance to buy it. Yeah. Whereas if at the beginning of the season, if you said, "Yes, I'm gonna do it," and then you pay for all the cup games, and then that's fine, or you don't, and then someone else has your ticket, but then they sign up for all those games, so it doesn't go to a different person every game. It's just that person gets to basically see that cup run.
That's
at home. But yeah, no, I think it's good. And, a lot of the people that will be complaining about ticket prices will be the ones tweeting about how there's no investment in the squad. And I don't know where they think you get money from because season tickets are a huge part of, Wolves' revenue.
It's an extra £1 million.
Million quid, I don't think so. No.
I know you can't scoff at £1 million. That's a lot of money. But in the grand schemes of football, it isn't.
10
I don't know. I thought
they did say it's important in that Jeff thing. They did say it's important
because it's everything else, isn't it? It's the hospitality. It's the money that you put behind. I mean, imagine how much money we put behind the bar, for example, or Harry anyway, especially in the second half. It all adds up, doesn't it? I don't think it. Is it £1 million?
No, it's the increase. The price increases will equate to £1 million. It's not just £1 million total. It's way more than that.
So it's still because what other outlets are there? There's shirts, TV money,
Fortnite,
obviously,
record label,
record label. That's huge.
Wolverhampton Esports.
Yeah, so it does make a difference. It's not like if we were Man City and their season tickets are what are they, £300-400 or something for their season tickets, but yeah, they're the cheapest in the league.
Never fair.
Burnley might have been the cheapest, but Man City was certainly one of the cheapest. Still full of tourists. So let's move on to something else. I'll get off my list. And good luck, of course, to Morgan Gibbs-White in the playoffs at the weekends.
He won Player of the Year, didn't he, for them?
He did.
Yeah. Well, we did say it would be his breakthrough season. We just got the club wrong. So there you go. The other things that we're going to talk about, Rob Edwards, Harry, he's gone from Forest Green, so basically winning promotion with them 1 week and then signing for relegated Watford the next.
fair play to him. I was quite shocked when I saw the news. I'll be honest, I didn't even know he was manager of the other team. So it'd be good for him.
Won the league.
Yeah, so fair play, man. Like, it's good to see one of our old players doing well, I guess, isn't it? And obviously, was he manager of one of our youth sides as well, wasn't he? The under-18s.
Yeah, under 23s.
Under 23. So yeah, fair play to him. I hope he does well.
Do you think he went to Watford Bayless because they're all vegans at Forest Green Rovers? they don't sell meat, do they? And the players are all on vegan diets.
They're also very angry vegans.
They're all
saw the
bloody
tweet
lefties
that they posted.
What did they say? No.
Oh, something about they didn't know about it and they
reckon he went behind their back, didn't he?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Raul
Jimenez,
get over it.
Raul Jimenez linked with a move away from the club could go for as little as £50 million. That's from Alex Crook at Talk Sport. Jack, any legs in that?
I'm just worried that we're already hearing more stories about outgoings than we are incomings, because the whole squad needs a refresh. Everyone knows that. We need to give some investment to Bruyne. We need to back him. We need to get him to put his own stamp on the squad. And if that means moving on players that are Nuno area players, then fair play. But if we get rid of Saïss, Neves, Jimenez, and don't replace them, we're in real trouble. I want to hear more about incomings than outgoings. But I think Jimenez did well for our goal last night. That was more like the old Jimenez. I think he was very crucial in that move. But you can't say he's been the same player since he came back, because he hasn't, has he? So there's no room for sentiment, I think, in this closed season. This is probably the biggest closed season transfer window that we've had since we came up. And we haven't had a good transfer window, really, on the whole, since the first one back in the Premier League. So we need another one like that if we're going to kick on, because the competition's getting fierce.
This might be an unpopular opinion, but I want to keep him. I know he's not the same player, and it's going to sting a bit to he's going to be cutting half his value. What did we sign him for? 37 million or something?
30 million, yeah.
Yeah, and I think last night, I know he didn't have much service to him and that, but I thought he showed glimpses of of old. So he might become good next year after he's still technically recovering a bit, isn't he? I know it's been a while since he come back now, but I think he might come back next season and do really well. So I hope he stays. And 15 million, if there is a chance.
Harry, he's 31 years old.
Yeah, but I know I would say he's in his prime years, but after what happened to him, you can't really say that, can you?
He's the same age as me, Jack, and almost Bayless. So, yeah. I mean, I don't feel like I'm in my prime.
But you're borderline alcoholic, though, aren't you? He's an athlete. So.
I'm an I'm an elite drinker.
But I'd be gutted if he went for somewhere for 15 million, whoever he's linked with, and then started banging in 20 goals. We'd be like, for fuck's sake, wouldn't we? Yeah. So I'd give him another year.
All headers.
I wouldn't, from what I've seen on the pitch.
No sentiment from Bayless.
Plus, my YouTube channel will die.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
YouTube be dead lads without him as well. Don't forget.
Harry needs the income. I think potentially, we don't know whether to believe it or not, but there were some pictures that surfaced of kits. The potential kits, and I have to say they are disgusting.
Yeah, that's my first.
They are really different.
I looked at them and I was like, oh. Didn't they leak or drop during the game last night? It was really weird how they just started appearing.
It looks like all the Castor ones have leaked as well, because I've just literally seen a Newcastle one that is in the Saudi Arabian colours for their away kit.
Really? Oh my god, they're shit-housing everyone like we did.
Yeah.
It's white, all white with green edges, and then a green Castor badge and a green Newcastle badge.
They're all just a bit pastely, aren't they? Do you know what I mean?
I'm not a fan of them, but
no.
I get the away kit. It looks like the one Jack's wearing, and everyone loves that top.
Yeah. What was that pink one? Was that the goalkeeper top? There was a pinky one.
Goalkeeper one. So
it's a bit like the one now.
It doesn't really matter.
I don't know, really. I was probably reading too much into this. I don't know how long the deal was that we signed with Castor, but I was on their website a couple of weeks ago, and it gives you a drop down of all the teams that they have, and the Wolves link wasn't working. So I was thinking, have they cut us off, or have we cut them off? But
hello, guys.
So the Rangers one was working, the Newcastle one was working, but clicked on the Wolves one, it was no page found. It's like, ooh, scoop.
Conspiracy.
Yeah.
There was a question I'd like to ask all of you, and it was one that I saw Jamie Carragher answering on Sky, and you can probably guess what his answer was. Is it more of an achievement to win the Premier League or the Champions League, or which would you rather win? So I want to open that up to the group, because I mean, it's something that's never going to happen, but you never know. But Harry, for you, what do you think is the bigger of those two competitions?
I think it's harder to win the Premier League, because obviously you've got to be more consistent over a longer period of time. And you know, you might have a bit of bad luck in the Champions League, but I would rather win the Champions League. It'd just be iconic, wouldn't it? But it's definitely harder to win the Premier League, no doubt.
You reckon? Bayliss.
I think I'd probably rather win the league. It shows that you've beaten everyone else in your country and done it over a lot of games in a whole season.
Yeah, and look at some of the teams that have won the Champions League. That Liverpool team in 2005, whatever it was, they were shocking, weren't they? Didn't they come like...
was awful, yeah.
But
yeah,
They came fifth, didn't they?
That says it all. If you have a bit of a fluky run, like you can do it. Look at Greece in the Euros. I know it's a different competition, but
that said, though, imagine. Well, it'd only be 20,000, wouldn't it? Looking at the tickets now, but imagine going over to Paris in a couple of weeks.
Oh, mate, unreal.
Yeah, I mean they could do both, I suppose. Jack, Premier League or Champions League?
I agree with Harry. The Premier League is definitely harder to win. It's the hardest league in the world. But I think I would rather win the Champions League just because it's of the memories, really. And
it's strange,
how
isn't it?
Iconic it would be.
Yeah, and I suppose it's the build up as well, isn't it? It's the go into the different cities, and you know you don't have to have a ticket. You can still go and how many fans of the teams that are playing are in fan parks or just in bars in and around the city that's being hosted in. So I mean, you still have that experience, wouldn't you? You'd still have the experience of going there and being there, and
some of my favourite memories are us going to in the Mickey Mouse Europa League. Some of my favourite memories following Wolves around for the few games we did.
But then winning the league is more.
Yeah, we've won the championship, don't we? So don't get too.
Yeah, that's like halfway there. Half the letters are the same. Awesome.
I think if we won the Champions League, then Harry will always have his divorce to remember it by.
You just wouldn't come back. You'd just be
terrible. We'd all just die over there.
We'd all be in the fountains. Yeah. Oh dear.
Don't get any cars. Don't get any cars going through tunnels.
No, well, yes, exactly. But very, very, very current 25-year-old joke there. Right, okay, we'll leave that there for another week. And on that bombshell, we'll say goodbye to Harry Mansell.
Hey, everyone.
Dan Bayliss.
Goodbye, everybody.
And Jack Williams.
See you later, guys.
And it is a goodbye from me. Goodbye.